So, hello and welcome to all of you. Today my topic is that is semi-supervised word sense disambiguation using word embedding in general and a specific domain. It is written by Kavesh Thagipo and Habito Angel. They are from National University of Singapore and he is written he was written around 2015. So in this paper, different content or different points they had mentioned like other papers. Initially, they are starting with abstract. After that, introduction, related works, then methods, result and discussion, and finally, they are discussed about the conclusion and some references. So in abstract, they focus about current weakness of supervised word sense disambiguation system, and generally they focus about that word is represent as a discrete entity. It means that the word is not related to each other. Every word is unique. So if we compare I drink orange juice and if I drink apple juice, so here all words are same, only orange and apple is there. So that that when you build language model on the basis of discrete entity, then we cannot differentiate them and we cannot say that both words are same or different. So instead of using discrete entity, we try to build up another approach that is known as word embedding, and with the help of this word embedding, continuous space representation of the words are used. And it can provide valuable information as well as it gives more accuracy. So in the word embedding, generally we obtain from unlabeled data using unsupervised method. Then we try to, the author try to build a word embedding for the word sense disambiguation setting and evaluate two different methods on some sense evaluation and same evaluation lexical sample and all words task, as well as it focus domain specific lexical sample task. The obtained results show that such representation consistently improve the accuracy of the selected supervised WSD system. Moreover, our experiment on a domain-specific data sets show that our supervised baseline system beats the best knowledge-based system by a large margin. So, what we take away from this abstract content, we get some idea about how word embedding is helpful to build word sensitive simplification language model, as well as when we try this model to lexical samples as well as all word tasks and in domain specific lexical sample tasks, so we get more accuracy. Now come to the part, first point, that is introduction. So in introduction, it focus about how any word gives two different meaning, and here it has taken one word, that is bank. So bank has two different meaning, that is in the bank of river or a bank loan. It's very simple for the human to identify the meaning, exact meaning of the word according to the context. But for the machine or computers, it is very difficult task and require lot of knowledge. And that's why this word sensitive simplification leads to NP-hard problem. So part of this ambiguity may be resolved by considering part of the speech tag, but word sense are still highly ambiguous even for the same part of the speech. So suppose if we think that if we categorize each word into different categorical part of a speech, then we can solve it. But the problem is that the word meaning is different even though they belongs to the same part of the speech. We will see little later how why I am saying like that. Now, when we shift to the application part of this problem, that is one of the most important application for WSD, that is known as machine translation. And very huge amount of application it is used in other approach like question answering system, information retrieval, as well as some other application of the natural language processing. So in machine translation, different sense of word cause a great amount of ambiguity for automated translation, and it negatively affects the result. Hence, an accurate WSD system, if we build to modify machine translation system so that we can give some improved result. And that type of application were used by different researchers like Chan in 2007, Carpet and WU in 2007, Vickery in 2005, and moreover, Chong and Ng have also used WSD to improve information retrieval by proposing a method of one sense in language modeling approach in information. So what we will see the remaining part of this paper that is in section 2, we will see literature review, or you can say that some related work based on semi-supervised word sense disambiguation and distributed word representation called word embedding. Method and framework is different method and framework we will see in section 3, and in section 4 we will see different evaluation approach, and finally in section 5 we will see conclusion and some important references. So in section 2, as I told earlier, we see related work, and in this related work, first of all, we start semi-supervised learning approach, which incorporate knowledge from unlabeled data sets by using word embedding. That is semi-supervised word sense disambiguation. So among various type of semi-supervised learning approach, like co-training and self-training are probably the most common approach. This method randomly select a subset of a large unlabeled data sets and classify these samples using one self-training or two co-training classifier trained on a smaller sets of labeled samples. So in semi-supervised, two different approach are used. One is self-training and another is that is known as co-training approach. So what is self-training approach? In self-training approach, it randomly selects the subset of the large unlabeled data sets and classify these samples using one classifier. And in two or co-training classifier, we use two classifier trained on a smaller set of labeled samples. After assigning labels to the new samples, these methods select the samples that were classified with a high confidence according to a selection criteria and add them to the set of label data. This method has been used in the context of word sense disambiguation and such type of approach it was already used by Mihalcia in 2004 to make unlabeled data sets for the word sense disambiguation. Mihalcia also introduced a technique for combining co-training and majority voting called smoothed co-training, and it gives improved result. Another researcher that is formed at all in 2005 had done similar type of approach, and it gives semi-supervised learning technique were used for word sense disambiguation It employed code training and a spectral graph transduction method in their experiments and obtained significant improvement over a supervised method. Another semi-supervised learning method used for the word sense distinguishing is alternating structure optimization. And first of all, it is used by Ando and Cheng in 2005, and later it is applied to word sense distinguishing tasks also. This algorithm learns a predictive structure shared between different problems, disambiguation of a target word. Semi-supervised application of the ASO algorithm was shown to be useful for word sense disambiguation, and improvement can be achieved over a supervised predictor. This paper used a different method proposed by Turing in 2010 that can be applied to a wide variety of supervised tasks in natural language processing. Now, we will focus about word embedding approach, and before discussing word embedding, one of the important paper we will discuss tomorrow, and that was written by Zhong and Angie in 2010, and the title of this paper is It Makes Sense. And this paper having lot of citation, it means that lot of researcher use this paper as a base paper. So most probably tomorrow we will see that is it makes sense. This is, and in this paper it provides to the author or researcher to use extra feature in a simple way to get more important or give more accurate result. Now comes to the part of word embedding. So there are several types of word embedding, and the first and foremost it is known as one hot representation. Here the dimension of this one hot representation is the number of vocabulary, and the content all value is 0 except one, that the position or index with the word set to 1. And we know that one hot vector representation, it is a sparse matrix, and in this sparse matrix all values set to 0 and except 1, and that one value represents the position of the list of the vocabulary. But it is very simple approach, but it does not carry any information about the word similarity. So at the beginning of this paper, as I had already given one example, and with the help of this example, you get aware about that if two similar words is there, so the value of these two similar words Most probably the same, but with the help of one hot representation, both value are different. Another popular approach is used in information retrieval, and that is known as latent semantic analysis and latent direct allocation. And word representation produced by this method can also be used in other applications. Since dense distributed representation for words is generated by word embedding, can learn more complex relationship between words, and hence it is very useful to build an application. So after Mikolov developed word-to-vec model, every author tried to use word embedding approach, and Mikolov developed in 2013, and that type of approach it is known as word-to-vec model. So in word embedding, it is a distributed representation of the word and contains some semantic and synthetic information, and it can be used by neural network. This neural network can be used in log linear network, deeper feed forward neural network, or recurrent neural network, and many more. So word embedding is very helpful to design a language model to find out the accuracy. So in order to train a neural network, a large text corpus is required. So in 2008, Colbert and Weston used Wikipedia data and some other Reuters RCP1 dataset also they are used. And basis of this data, we train model. The training algorithm select a window of text randomly and then replace the middle word of the random word from the dictionary. Then the original window of text and the corrupted one is given to the neural network. The neural network compute f of x and fxw, where x is the original window of text, xw is the same window of text, and the middle word replaced by a word w, and f dot is a function that a neural network represents. After computing f of x and fxw, the training algorithm used pairwise ranking cost function to train the network. The training algorithm minimizes the cost function by updating the parameters, including word embedding. As a consequence of using the pairwise ranking cost function, this neural network tends to assign higher score to valid window of text and lower score to incorrect ones. After training the neural network, the word vector in the lookup table layer from the word embedding matrix, and it can be used for the public use. So in this figure 1, we simply dated input window of text, lookup table layer, dropout layer, and output layer, and then after that we use sense classes. So three different approaches are used inside this box, or you can see that in second layer, that is our hidden layer, that is lookup table layer, dropout layer, as well as the output layer. Now comes to the section 3, that is known as methods. In this section, author first of all explain our novel task specific method of adapting word embedding, and then describe our framework in which raw or adapted word embedding are included in our word sense distinguishing system. So adoption of word embedding, first of all, we will see, as we know that word embedding captures some semantic and synthetic information, and usually similar words have similar word vector in terms of distance measurement. However, in a classification task, it is better for word embedding is also include some task specific discriminative information in order to add such information to word embedding. We modify word vectors using a neural network to obtain adapted word embedding. This section explains this process in details. The neural network that we use to adapt word embedding is similar to the window approach network introduced by Albright and Weston. This neural network includes the following layer: lookup table layer, dropout layer, and output layer. So what we will did in lookup table layer, that is this layer includes three lookup table. The first lookup table assign a vector. The first lookup table assign a vector to each input word as described earlier. The second lookup table map each word to a vector with respect to the capitalization feature. And third lookup table map each word to its corresponding vector based on words part of speech tag. Then another layer, that is dropout layer. In order to avoid overfitting, we add a dropout layer, and that approach it is given by Hinton and et al. In 2012 to the network to make use of its regularization effect. During training, the dropout layer copies the input to the output but randomly set some of the entry to 0 with a probability p, which is usually set to 0.5. During testing, this layer produces the output by multiplying the input vector by 1 minus p. For more information, the third layer, that is used output layer. This layer linearly maps the input vector x to a c-dimensional vector y. and then applies to softmax operation overall over all element of y. So we can say that y equal to wx plus p, and that is probability of a small t divide I is exponential yt upon summation j equal to 1 to c exponential yj, where I is the input window of text and t is a class level sense tag in WSD. The output layer can be interpreted as a conditional probability p t upon I over tags given the input text. The architecture is similar to the network used by Colbert and Weston in 2008, but it does not include any hidden layer. Since the number of training samples for each word type in WSD is relatively small, we did not use any hidden layer to decrease the model size and consequently overfitting as much as possible. So what is the difference between Colbert Weston in 2008 and Kagepu? That is, here he is not used any hidden layer, but it added dropout layer so that accuracy may be increased subsequently. In order to train the neural network, we use stochastic gradient descent, SGD, and error backpropagation to minimize negative log likelihood cost estimation for each training sample I, t equation. And the equation it is written. Now during the training process, the input are the windows of text surrounding the target word with their assigning POS tags, and it is used fixed learning rate that is 0.01 during training with no momentum. Since the objective is to adopt word embedding using the neural network, they initialize the lookup table layer parameter using pre-trained word embedding and trained a model for each target word type. And after the training process complete, the modified word vector from our adapted word embedding, which will be used in exactly the same way as the original embedding. Section 3.2, we will see how word embedding is improved supervised word sense distinguishing system, and basically it take reference from the paper. It makes sense that was written by Zhong and NG in 2010. Basically, it used three types of feature as well as use support vector machine as the classifier. So what are the three different features they are used? One is POS tag of surrounding words, and third is that is local collocation. So what is POS tag of surrounding words? IMS use the POS tag of all words in a Windows size of 7. Surrounding the target ambiguous word, POS tag features are limited to the current sentence and neighboring sentence are not considered. Surrounding words, additionally, the surrounding words of a target word after removing stop words are also used as feature in IMS. However, However, unlike POS tag, the words occurring in the immediately adjacent sentence are also included. And third important feature, it is used, it is known as local co-location, and it used 11 local co-location around the target word are considered as feature. These co-location also cover a window size of 7 where the target word is in the middle. So here three different types of feature it is used. One is POS tag of surrounding words, and local co-location. So all above feature are binary feature and will be used by the classifier in the next way. After extracting this feature, the classifier, that is SVM, is used to train a model for each target word in the test phase, and the model is used to classify test sample and assign a sense tag of each sample. This supervised framework with separate feature extraction and classification phase makes it easy to add any number of features, and in our case, word embedding. In order to make use of word embedding trained by neural network, we follow the approach that Torian et al. In 2010 and include word embedding for all words in the surrounding window of text, given a target ambiguous word. We use the word from immediately adjacent sentence if the window fall beyond the current sentence boundary. Since each word type has its own classification model, we do not add the word embedding for the target word because the same vector will be used in all training and test sample and it is useless. After extraction of three mentioned types of feature, that is POS for surrounding words and local co-location, D.W-1 feature will be added to each sample where D is the word embedding dimension and W is the number of words in the window or text surrounding the target word, that is window size. And W is one of the hyperparameter of our system that can be tuned for each word type separately. However, since the training set for some of the benchmark tasks are small, tuning the window size will not be consistent over different tuning sets. Thus, we decided to select the same window size for all words in a task and tune this parameter on the whole tuning set in a step. After augmenting the feature, the model is trained for the target word, and then the classifier can be used to assign the correct sense to each test sample. Now, we will see some important thing. Now comes to the section 4, that is known as result and discussion. So generally, word sense distinguishing system experimentally by using extended benchmark and two major tasks in WSD system, that is known as lexical sample task and all words task. For each task, experimental setup first required and result of experiment is also required. So for each task, they are used different experimental setup and different results also accomplished. Also, it includes domain-specific test set that are exist in web. So first, we will see lexical sample test. We have already seen two different tasks. One is lexical sample as well as the another is all tasks and domain specific. So in Sense Evaluation 2 and Sense Evaluation 3, lexical sample task and domain specific test set called as DS05 published by Cooling in 2005. And here you can see that in SE2, that is Sense Evaluation 2, 73 different word types and 8,611 training sample and 4,328 is the test sample is used. And similarly, other Sense Solution 3 as well as DS05. The DS05 dataset does not provide any training instance. In order to train model for DS05, we generated training sample for the top 60% most frequently occurring polysemous content word in brown corpus using the approach described in ANGI 2003 and 2005. And as I told earlier, here they are used open category of the part of speech, and in open category, four different type of part of speech it is used. One is adjective, adverb, noun, and verb. Since the data set used by John and NG 2000 does not cover the specific domain of DS05, that is in sports and finance, we added a few samples from this domain to improve our baseline system for each target word. It randomly selects 5 instances, a sentences included in the target word for a sports domain and 5 instances for finance domain from the readers, datasets, sports and finance section, and manually sense annotated them. Annotating 5 instances per word and domain takes about 5 minutes to take. Make sure that these instances are not same sample in the test. Now comes to the part of result section. So in order to select a value of the window size parameter, it performs two types of tuning. The first method, which theoretically can achieve higher accuracy, is per word tuning. Since each word type has its own model, we can select different window size for different words. The second method, on the other hand, select the same value for the window size for all word type in a task, and we call it per task tuning. Although tuning achieves very high accuracy on the held out development, we observed that it performed poorly on the test set. Moreover, the result of per word tuning are not stable, and different development set lead to different window size and also fluctuating accuracy. Now, next section is that is known as all words task. We also evaluate the performance of system, that is Sense Evaluation 3, all word task, and all word task does not provide any training sample and it only include the test set. In order to train our system for SE3, all word tasks we used the automatically level training sample used earlier for training model for DS05. And here is the result. So now comes to the result section of all words. The table shows that CW word embedding improved the accuracy similar to the result obtained for the lexical sample task. We observe some improvement by adapting word embedding for the SE3 all word task as well. And comparison purpose, we include the official score of rank 1 and rank 2 participation. So this is the table for the all word task. As we see that in rank 1, it gets 5.2% accuracy and rank 2, it is 64.6. But when it applied on IMS, it gets 67.6% and IMS plus CW 68% and like that. So now comes to the last section of this paper that is known as conclusion. And we concluded that supervised word sense distinction system usually treat words as a discrete entity and consequently ignore the concept of similarity between words. But if we add word embedding and sample that cannot be discriminated based on the original feature like surrounding word, co-location, stat, have more chance to be classified correctly. Moreover, word embedding are likely to contain valuable linguistic information too. Hence, adding continuous space representation of words can provide valuable information to the classifier, and the classifier can learn better discriminative criteria based on such information. So in this paper, it exploits a type of word embedding obtained by feed-forward neural network and proposed a novel approach, that is adaptation, to add discriminative information to such embedding. These word embedding were then added to a supervised WSD system by augmenting the original binary feature space with real valued representation of for all words occurring in a window of text. It evaluated its system on two general domain lexical sample tasks and all word tasks, also domain specific tasks, and it showed that word embedding consistently improved the accuracy of supervised word sense discrimination system across different data sets. Moreover, it observed that adding discriminative information by adding word embedding further improved the accuracy for word sense discrimination system. Now comes to the important reference. So here it is. One important reference is there, that is all word sense distribution on a specific domain. Second, it is neural probabilistic language model. It's written by Bengio in 2003. Then third, here it is. How to improve a statistical machine translation using word sense disambiguation. Then next paper, it is another paper that is core training and self-training for word sense disambiguation. And here it is recurrent neural network based language model. Then efficient word vector representation space and distributed representation of the compositionality. Then another important paper I am looking, that is I am looking here, and this one is the important paper. So this is a very important paper. We will see tomorrow. So thank you very much for giving me time and listen patience. Thank you.